Hi, my name is Moneymaker Fraser here. I am the admin of LMG Top Predictions. LMG Top Predictions has been in existence since 2020. It used to be called LMG University, but we changed it just to help, create a lot of content and all that good stuff. So I'm here to show you how you can win with the pressure turbo numbers in the album section. So I'm going to show you my screen as we speak, so that way we can help guide you in the right direction. So here's my screen. As you can see, I am going to, oops, I hit something by accident. I gotta exit out. So as you can see, I am in LMG Top Predictions. And most importantly, your feature section is this. This is your highlighted postings. This shows you um, recent, YouTube or Vimeo videos that I've recently created, as of late. And if you scroll down, you see a lot of important reminders, you know, um, beyond a reasonable doubt. So that way you can understand what this group's about. So most importantly, please follow all these stuff that I posted. So that way you'll be in the right direction and becoming successful as a lottery player. So I'm gonna show you what I recently assembled and created. Which I've been done this since last month. I went over it. I'm going over it again. So we go in the media, you go in the albums. Since I'm using my laptop, you go where it says pick three. We'll start with pick three pressure turbo state specifics. So you got a whole bunch of numbers, but I'm gonna give you the top numbers that people recently use most of the time. You got this, that's my top pick right here. This one's my top pick right here. 047 is one of my top picks right here, and this one right here. So you don't have to play a lot of numbers, but you just have to target your history, see which numbers appeal to the history. Because we all know that history repeats itself. I'm gonna give you prime examples what I'm talking about. So that way you're not chasing so many numbers all at one time. So I'm gonna give you prime examples. So we're gonna start with 082 first. We can start with Laurie Post, go on the search engine, then we go look up 082. So we go to Laurie Post, then we go to search drawings. Then after that, we go to pick three, then you hit check all, then you hit continue, then you split in 028, and you go to last year, you hit search. So if you want to play your top stakes at 028, I definitely look at last year related to last December, so that way you're not chasing so many numbers, so many states I meant. Okay, this is related to how keep you from chasing so many states. Now, if you see a state that came multiple times, you want to hit heavy on that. Now, my base state overall is Texas, since Texas, you know, is has four drawings, number one, and it touches and taps into the lottery algorithm because it has four drawings a day, 6 days a week. So we know that Texas is your number one state for 280 or any other number out there because Texas has more draws than any other state. So they have a higher probability in getting numbers like this. Another state that'll be good to play for 028 is Georgia. And main reasons because they got more than two draws. They got three draws a day, 7 days a week. So we know that Georgia is another state that gets numbers like that. So let me just explain to you why these states are good to play. And another reason why Georgia is good to play 028 for this month is because they got it twice last year in December. So keep that in mind if you don't mind me, asking y'all about Georgia, as an example of why it is important to play 280 in Georgia for December. So I'm just showing you examples how you can target your numbers based on the pressure turbo numbers, based on pick three as a whole. Okay. Um, we're gonna go over to 012 next. We're gonna go back and we're gonna, instead of just changing all the three numbers, I'm just changing one digit because the 028 is part of the 02X pair. So I'm doing a one digit change, and instead of and changing all the numbers, and just changing the 8 to a 1. So 120 is all different, 6 different combinations related, to each other, amongst each other. So as you can see here, these are four-way straights here. So 0 to 1 can be formed into just 6 different combinations, as you can see here. So you can see here, we're gonna do match straight and match box. We're gonna do last year. And what you can do here is you map it out like this. And these are your top states for 012 for December for this year. So if you want to know what's top for January, you would have to do your research for January of 2025. So I'm gonna go over that in a little bit. So we're gonna show you what states are top for 021 in December for this year. So Texas, my number one choice of 021 because of history. Minnesota's another one because I got it twice. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the most common denominator, as we speak. We know that Texas is the most common denominator because number one, they got 4 draws 6 days a week, and number two, they tap into the Lawler algorithm. So that's my most common denominator. The states, my high top states. My top states always use the most common denominator. I don't go by the least common denominator. If you go by the least common denominator, then you're not be able to find the right state, right number for the state you're trying to target. Least common denominator states are states that do not get numbers like this a whole lot. So this is why it's very important to do your last year history research pertaining to December or whatever month that you're trying to focus on based on what month we're in. So if we're in January, then you would do your January research and look at the states that got that number for that month and hold it until it falls. Because we have to understand that patience pays huge dividends. You can't, concept of lottery is patience. If you don't have patience, then the lottery's not for you. Then just kind of explain to you how lottery works so that way you can start winning the right way. Okay. So this is how I do my research. Another way I can do research is find out what pairs do. So you want to narrow down even further, you have to find out what pair is due for, like 01X or 02X or 12X. So it's not that hard to do. It's very easy. It's simple. Let's give you an example of what Texas is due, since Texas is one of the most common states that people play. I'm going to go to systems. I'm going to go to pairs analysis, pick 3, pick 4. I hit pick 3. I click on Texas here, for all 4 draws. I hit continue. Then I hit any position box. I hit continue. Then I hit last seen. And the oldest is this right here. So we know that Texas as a whole, they're most due for the 1-8X pair for pick 3 singles. So, and they're most due for 4-4X. Last time they came with 4-4Xs of over a month ago. So what we're gonna do is look at history of the 1-8X pair of what what Texas has. So we're gonna go back to search drawings, and we go to pick 3. We're going to select Texas for all 4 drawings. We hit continue. Then we hit 1AX, and we're going to go to, my internet connection is unstable. We're going to go to last year. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at here. So we got 184,817. We're looking for 180. So we're going to go to this year. And so you can go up to a month out, you know, as a rule of lottery, because they usually play, a month in advance. As you can see, 108. 108 is top for Texas from January. Since we can go for the rule of lottery states, if we trying to play it in advance, it has to be no more than a month or so. So if you see 180 in February and January, we all know that our top hold number is 108. So we're gonna go back to Facebook and we'll see 108. As you can see, 108 is the most common denominator with Texas, because we know that Texas had 108 in history in January, of this year. So let's see if Texas has had it. So Texas has not had it recently. So we need to watch out for 108 in Texas. And it's because number one is because they're in history in January, which is nearby January, and it's like they had that like 20 days out. And number two, Texas has a high probability of getting the 180. So hopefully that answers your question on the 180. I did 2 examples of pick 3 singles. So we're gonna go over pick 3 doubles real quick. We're gonna do maybe 1 or 2. We're gonna start off with 889 and 998, since those are the most common numbers that come out in the lottery game. So we're gonna go back, search drawings, click on pick 3, check all, and hit continue. I type 889, and I go to date, rates, and search. I go to last year, I hit search. So we see 889 came in DC twice, and Tennessee once, so in Georgia once. So those are my top 3 states, and Indiana, Iowa. Those are my top 5 states: Indiana, Iowa, DC, Georgia, and Tennessee. So those are my top 5 states for that number. Okay. So I would play them in those states if it were me. So that way you have a good chance of winning. That's how you narrow down the states. You look at the history of the numbers and see what states it came in, and hold it in those states. Instead of playing all states, you play in those states. So that way you're not chasing the board down. So we'll do another example. We'll do 899. Place the extra digit to an 8 to a 9 to the reciprocal of the number. So hit continue. As you see, I'm gonna highlight this to see what I see. South Carolina is my number 1 state for 899. We want to definitely play 889 along with it, because we know that the mates run together with amongst each other. 889 and 899 are the mates amongst each other. So that's prime example how you would do your research on your doubles. Sometimes you can go like one month out, just to be on the safe side, so to confirm what you see. Texas is a good one. So that'd be a good hold for Texas. 889 and 899 for Texas. And you got Tennessee as a whole. So that's a prime example of how you would hold numbers, especially on your doubles. You got to have patience in this game. If you don't have patience, then lottery is not for you. You got to have patience when it comes to lottery, playing lottery numbers. You know, this is how I do my research on your pressure turbo numbers for pick three. Does anybody have any questions pertaining to pick three before I move on to pick four at this time? Okay, so we don't have nobody that has any questions, so we're going to move on to pick four. I'm going to go all the way back. I'm going to look at pick four pressure turbo, state specifics, top state specifics. 4, 5, 6, 9 is my tops. Then you got 1, 2, 4, 7. Those are your straight hit, no chasers. So my top is this and the one on the bottom. So we're gonna go back. I'm gonna start over. We go to search drawings. It'll take you to this page. Click pick four. Check all. We're gonna do 4, 5, 6, 9 first. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do research between December to February and see what our top states are. So we're gonna do last year first. DC is my number one. Number two is Virginia. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go to this year. Go all the way to March. New Mexico is my top for 4, 5, 6, 9. Kentucky's my top state for 4, 5, 6, 9. You see, it came twice. This one and this one. Ontario's another one that's top for 4, 5, 6, 9. And Virginia, another one. So that should be your top states for 4, 5, 6, 9. Uh, let's look at
Repeat that again, Frank.
Okay, I'll re-go over it when I get finished for everything. Hold on. Okay, so 1, 2, 4.
Only the 5649. That's the one that I needed.
Yeah, I'll go over that like I said when I finish.
Okay.
I'm doing my presentation. Please don't interrupt, please. 1, 2, 4, 7. We're gonna go over that next. So your top for 1, 2, 4, 7 for um for we're gonna put on the notes so that way people are staying on task on everything. So 1, 2, 4, 7 top states for winter season. Okay. DC is my top pick. Oregon is my second top pick. Mississippi is my third top pick. Tri-states. Oh, Tennessee. Delaware. Delaware is my other top pick. Okay, let's go back and look at last year. Georgia's my another one top pick. New York is another one. That's top for 1247. South Carolina is another one. Let's see. Indiana, Iowa, New Jersey. That's all I have listed for that. We're gonna go back 4569. We're gonna lay out the top states for 4569. Virginia is number one. DC, number two. Number three is Kentucky. We want to see if Puerto Rico is top by seeing if it matches up from this past year's results from all the way to March. Oops. We got Ontario here. I got Oregon. I got New Mexico. So those as a whole are my top states, as we speak for the 4569. So um, I'm open to questions at this time. If you have any questions about what I went over for pick four. Since nobody has any questions, I'm going to move on to my next session, my next section, and the album section of what we had to go over. Let's go back. This is additional states. I personally recommend level one budget box. You know, this is additional states for additional assurance. If you want to pay extra states for these numbers pertaining to the straight hit no chaser pick fours, these are optional. These are not guaranteed to fall. So just let you know about this ahead of time. Since if y'all decide to play straight hit no chaser, nothing is guaranteed. That's pick four. I just went over. This is your pick three budget box. State specifics here. I normally prefer level two budget box. But it's a lot of states, but this is why we went over your top state specifics. So that way, what states to hold for these numbers that we went over. So if you're not understanding, keeping up on what I went over, this is why we have a recording. You need to watch the recording again, what I went over, so you can have a full understanding of what you should do, how you to do your own research on pick three and pick four, pressure turbo numbers for pick three and pick four. This is your map and regions chart here. This is your pick three, pick four here. So definitely make sure you study the region charts. This is your financial breakthrough top predictions. This is the same thing. Same is a layout. Is layout the same? Is you got start your pick threes here, singles and doubles. Then you got your pick fours. So make sure you look over that when you get a chance. You know, I had made this since November, so it's relatively new to people that are not familiar with what we're trying to do for top predictions. You know, reason why it's different is because I had to update it to not confuse people. See, it's laid out much better than the last one. So that's the only difference. We had the same states, the same top states. It's just due to the fact that these are relatively related to the budget box, as you can see here. This right here is matched up to the budget box right here. So all these states, top states, are part of the budget box, as you can see. Does anybody have any questions on LMG Top Predictions Financial Breakthrough Guide? So since nobody has any questions, we're going to see if we can find anything else we can cover. I think we got 1 more minute left here. I'm going to stop my screen. I want to thank everybody for watching and participating here. But like I said, if you have any questions with the video, please let me know. It'll be released onto the YouTube very shortly. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you so much for your support and everything. I'm your host, Frank Moneymaker, and the admin for this group. So saying so long, have a wonderful Monday. God bless you, everybody, and talk to y'all soon. And like I said, you can always refer back to the video if you want to look over it again. Talk to y'all later.
God bless you.
You too. Thank you.